Yo, what's good, world? It's day 3 in Puerto Rico, and we are about to head out to Casa Bacardi. Yeah, you know what we do right before we leave? Get the little fit check in here. Wow, let's get that. Ooh, swaggy. We have made it to Casa Bacardi. So, this is where you get dropped off at if you take an Uber. This is also the parking lot over here. If you drove, we took an Uber. So, just gotta go this way. Yeah, I got like a lot of mural painting stuff here. Get ready to rum. Yeah, we are. So this is part 1 of our tour. So today is, what's today, Thursday?
Yes.
So today's Thursday. We have our Mixology class today. And then tomorrow we actually have the rum tour. So we'll be here twice. It's pretty cool. Wow, look at that. Some really cool murals here. So you can see here, restrooms, bat cave, no idea what that means. Food and smoking area is over here. And then check-in area is right there. And as you can see, this is the bar. So we're about to check in.
Welcome to Casa Bacardi. So under what name is the reservation?
Clark Jones.
Clark Jones. Perfect. So welcome officially to
Thank
Casa
you.
Bacardi. I'm gonna give you your wristbands for the mixology class at 3:15. I'm gonna leave it a little bit loose because they are not readjustable.
Thank you.
I'm also gonna give you tokens for coins. This
All
is
right.
for you to get your welcome cocktail, a complimentary cocktail. Here you go.
Thank you. We're about to go get our complimentary drink. Got our little tokens here.
Tokens, right?
Yes, sir.
With your tokens, you get these two, and then from the frozen down is a $2 bottle.
So anything off of this Caribbean Catholic one is
Yes.
the token?
Okay.
Anything off of this one? Okay. Yeah, I'll do a daiquiri too. Why not? Thank you. What's your name, Francisco?
Francisco.
All right, cool. Francisco. Francisco's about to hook us up with 2 daiquiris.
Nice professional classic daiquiri.
All right.
Show your glass. Start off with some lime, some sugar, and lastly, some love right here. Look at that, nice and frothy, almost just creamy, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, some nice. There's 3 cubes. Maybe one more for this guy right here. Beautiful. We're gonna top it off with some dry license. And here we have 2 classic daiquiris.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's good. It's real good.
Alright. Bueno, mi gente, bienvenidos. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Puerto Rico. So welcome to my beautiful island. And of course, welcome to Casa Bacardi. Casa means house, my crew. And this is the biggest house of Bacardi. But at the same time, the biggest house of premium rum in the entire wide world. So welcome everyone to 137 acres of rum making facility. Our facility is big enough. We're never gonna do it because we use the space to make rum, but we can technically play 107 Super Bowls at the same time. Así que that's how big our facility is. Welcome to it. Today we're gonna be together for the Mixology tour. It's a tour, so it's gonna be divided into parts. First, the tour part, and then we're gonna be doing the mixology part. So I'm gonna drive you around the facility, just parts of it. We're not gonna see the entire facility. We're gonna be seeing some parts of it. You can take pictures, you can take videos, but please no smoking or no vaping. Alright, once we end, we can do that at the building where we are, but remember that not only we receive visitors, but we make rum, and we are extremely flammable. The alcohol here, before we mix into the rum, it's at 85 to 94.7% alcohol. So my crew, just hold on. After the tour, we got the bar. If you want to enjoy another cocktail, you can go to the bar, get a cocktail, enjoy your smoking and vaping to your heart's content. But if security sees you smoking and vaping, you can be escorted out of the facility, and I don't want you going through that hassle, right? So enjoy the tour. We're gonna have some cocktails to enjoy in the room, and in the meantime, we're gonna be learning a little bit about what we do here in the house. Así que enjoy the tour, take pictures, and let's talk a little bit about Bacardi before we enjoy Bacardi, alright? Así que my crew, for those of you that do not know this, our company actually began in Cuba, or Cuba as we call it in Spanish. Our company has been making rum for 163 years without interruption, and we are now no longer in our home country of Cuba. We stopped making Bacardi rum in Cuba in the year 1960. All of the assets that the company owned were confiscated, so we lost our corporation in Cuba, but we were already in Puerto Rico and in Mexico, so Bacardi was open to the world. This facility is where we make the biggest amount of rum in the world. Every day, my crew, every day. For over 300 days of the year, our average production is 135,000 of liters of alcohol. Here in Puerto Rico, we make all the rum that you can enjoy in USA, in Canada, in Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia. All of those countries are going to be supplied by the rum that we make here in a Puerto Rican manner. Now my crew, we're going to pass the threshold to the production side. Same rules apply, but you can take all the pictures that you wish. Just be careful. Do not stand up just in case I don't see you and in a acceleration you can fall down. But my crew, this is it. This is where we produce most of the rum Bacardi for the world. The one thing we don't do here is the bottling. The bottling started to be here, but we were doing bottling here and in Jacksonville, Florida at the same time since the 1980s. But around 2010, the operations of bottling Bacardi rum for Canada, USA, and the Caribbean moved to Jacksonville, Florida only, and we shut down our bottling plant here. What did we do with the bottling plant? Well, you can see it now to the right. We are turning it into an aging warehouse. That's where we get the alcohol inside the barrels to transform in flavor, in color, and in aroma. This is not, it wasn't made as a warehouse, but we are turning it into a warehouse, but we're going to be able to see an open warehouse overhead, which you can also take pictures of course. Now, my crew, when we make rum, the very first thing we got to make is alcohol. And the alcohol is made relatively easy. We need 3 ingredients to make alcohol. We use a sugarcane product. Molasses is the one we use. Water to make the molasses softer. And yeast, levadura. When I combine these 3 ingredients, I get an alcohol made. Just like that. The next step is distillation. We transform this alcohol into different bases. And the bases are what we get inside the barrels. This line that you're gonna see now on the right side, the production line, this is where we do the collecting of the rum. This is where we bring the barrels that has spent the years in the aging process. We're gonna bring them here to get that rum out. And this is where we get the rum or the alcohol in to the barrels. The way we work is that the same number that we get empty, we got to get full in the same day. Alright, so production line here works from Monday to Friday. At this hour of the day, they're just done, so that's why you see that we are shut down. It's done for the day. But if we were able to empty 200 barrels today, 200 barrels is the number that we need to get full and deliver back to our warehouses. Number 2. Wildlife. Puerto Rico doesn't have too much of a wildlife. Our wildlife wasn't wild, now it's a little bit more wild because we've seen alligators, we've seen snakes in the island that we didn't have in the past. So those of you that have never been to Puerto Rico before, if you're gonna go and enjoy lakes, rivers, please just be on the lookout. I don't want anyone to have that element of unpleasant surprise of seeing one of these animals that we're not supposed to have. But they have been introduced to our ecosystem, like the iguanas. I don't know if you have seen those big green iguanas. They are not from Puerto Rico, but they were introduced into our island, and now you're gonna see them everywhere. Same thing has happened with snakes, with alligators, crocodiles. There's some lakes that are full of alligators, so I just want you to be chill and have a great time in Puerto Rico. Now, my crew, we are, as I told you, very flammable. So we have our own fire department on site. We got a fire truck and everything is blue. The only difference is that it's blue, it's not red. I don't really know. My imagination is because we are not a federal program, but I don't know if that's the real answer. But our fire truck is blue. And my fire people, they are trained in Texas as fire personnel and as paramedics. So in case of emergencies, they can act as first responders. We've had some small fires here in the past, and my fire personnel has been able to contain it before the authorities officially come to aid us. Now, my crew, we got 16 warehouses at this moment in time. Every warehouse containing thousands and thousands and thousands of barrels inside, like the ones you see right now to the right. Dímelo, saludo mi hermano. And at this moment in time, we got over 600,000 barrels of these ones aging simultaneously, right? We have an ambitious goal of having 1 million barrels. So we are building 2 more warehouses. You're gonna see them now to the left. They are the biggest ones we're gonna have here at the moment. And with these warehouses that we're gonna inaugurate soon, our numbers are going to rise to over 800,000. So you can see the warehouses to the left. They are going to be inaugurated between August and December. The process of aging the rum, which is the process where the alcohol sits in the barrels, we're gonna have a maximum time that we can leave the alcohol in the barrels. Now the maximum time is because of the weather that we face here. The weather here is hot all year long. It's 86 degrees. We say that Puerto Rico is summer all day long. Puerto Rico at 75 degrees. We're cold, my crew. We're wearing hoodies and everything because we're cold. It's always so hot that we don't know how to handle just a little breeze. So because of that reason, the maximum time the rum sits in the barrels for us to get something to make out of, 23, like MJ or LeBron, 23 years. That's gonna be the maximum time that the alcohol can sit inside the barrels in any Bacardi distillery. This is the biggest one, so what we do here, we do in the rest. Now, the minimum time is gonna be 1 year. 1 year is imposed by the Puerto Rican government to assure a quality in our product. So that's gonna be our timeline. 1 year the minimum, 23 years the maximum, and every number in between. Now my crew, I'm gonna exit the production site, and as soon as I turn the corner, you're gonna be able to see the distillation columns that we use for the production of our alcohol. The process here starts by making alcohol, and then we transform that alcohol into specific bases, and these columns is how we transform the alcohol into the bases. Take a look to the right now when we start turning the corner. You're gonna see 5 columns all together. Maybe you can see 4 because the 5th one is on the other angle. And there's one single column behind the building with the Bacardi name. So we make alcohol, combining molasses, water, and yeast. This alcohol that we make is raw, it's not nice to enjoy. So we're gonna do the distillation, which is what we do here in the columns. Think of distillation as the process where we separate the alcohol from the water, and when we choose the actual alcohols, we are going to process. Some of our alcohols are toxic, some of our alcohols even worse, they taste bad. So we got to choose the ones we want, and then these 2 alcohols, we get them in the barrels. In the barrels they change, they get colored, flavors that were not present in the moment are born in the process. And then once the alcohol spent the years that we needed to spend in the barrels, I got human beings called blenders, and the blenders sacrifice their body for the science of rum because they need to taste the basis of alcohol of the different years that we let them inside the barrels. Every rum that we make has a guideline of years that we follow to make it. So my blenders taste all of the years they need. They recognize the flavors they gotta use, and then they blend the years they need to blend to repeat the same profile again. Opposite to other expressions like wine, we are going to take the heat of weather and adjust the outcome to what we have always delivered to you. Now my crew, we're almost culminating with the tour part. When I stop the trolley, please don't forget your belongings. The trolley sits here all by itself, so I cannot guarantee the safety of your items. Before we begin with the actual mixology part, we're gonna give you a short restroom break so you can go to the restroom, freshen up. We have water to refresh as well in the room, and then we're gonna begin with the actual mixology part, right? Now my crew, this is the fermentation area. This is where the alcohol is made to process for the rum. I don't know if you noticed earlier, but I don't know if you have seen that some of our trees look completely blackened. They look like they've been scorched or burnt. They have not been burned, they have not been painted. They look black because they're covered in a fungus. Now we see this fungus, and for us it's good. It means that we're doing a good distillation because this is a fungus that feeds on alcohol. But my crew, there was a time in the history of USA that alcohol was illegal. You could not buy it, you could not drink it. This time lasted from 1918 to 1933. It was almost 20 years. People were still making alcohol. You know how we do. They say don't do it, and we want to do it more. But they will arrest you. So the people were finding ways to hide themselves. They were using shoes that instead of being normal shoes on the bottom, they would look like cow's hooves. So when the FBI will see them, so there were just cows walking here. But my crew, they had one problem. When you distill alcohol, this fungus that you saw on the trees appears always. So alcohol was illegal, and the FBI noticed this relationship between the trees being black and the distillation of alcohol. So the FBI started to look for the blackened trees, and they were finding the people making the alcohol illegally and arrest them. That's why these people didn't like the fungus, and they called the fungus snitches, tattletales, chotas, or ratas, because they were telling to the FBI, hey, all of these cool people in Will's tour are making alcohol illegally right here, and they will be arrested. Here is known as the rum fungus because we make rum and they feed on the rum that we made. Bueno, my crew, we're gonna shut down the trolley now. So please, let's start making our way to the right side of the trolley. Don't forget your belongings. And now we're gonna walk around the building into the mixology classroom. Así que vamos allá, mi gente. Let's get this show going.
Alright. Alright, we are inside the Mixology place.
With the Mixology classroom.
Let's see.
We're going to be enjoying a restroom break now, so those of us that needs to use the restroom or want to freshen up, remember we have a restroom right outside, so you can go now, during or after to the restroom, and here in the back of the room, we got water. So you can come here to the back of the room, we got 2 cups, and you can enjoy it. But my crew, the very first thing I need all of you to confirm that you got is going to be the rums that we're going to be working with. Right in front of your station, you got 2 bottles, mini bottles. They are not the same size as these bottles, but they have the same rums I'm holding in my hand. You have a mini bottle with the first clear rum ever, hint hint us, and you got another bottle the same way with this copper color tone looking rum, right? Now my crew, if you notice that bottle didn't have a number, this bottle has a number. This one has a 4, this one has none. The difference is the number 4, numero 4 means that for this rum to be made, the alcohol that we make has to be in the barrels at least 4 years. Always the minimum, because we don't know how much the maximum will be until we make it. Now, what happens when the bottle has no number? That number is 1, the minimum in Puerto Rico, right? Now, when you see the shapes in the bottles, the rum that you have anywhere in your house, you can bring anywhere that you like. But when we present to you these bottles with the long neck, is bottles that are better for mixing. They are not bad quality. They're the same quality for us at the same, because they are made from the same alcohol. But leaving the alcohol longer or less in the barrels, we're gonna get stronger or lighter flavors evolution. Rums that are for mixing are better when they are aged less time, so the flavor is not that heavy and it's easy to blend, mix in a way that we like. So my crew, these are the rums we're gonna be enjoying. We got 2 glasses per person. Check that the glasses are in good condition to be used. They cannot be dented, cracked, broken. When we are in the bar, we never hold the glass where people drink from. When we are in the bar, we hold the glass away from where people drink, and at the same time, this is the strongest part of the glass. The part we can be crazy, we know you rush, we are waiting for 5 minutes, I know I got 30 people, so here we are not gonna break the glasses, alright? Now my crew, there was, or there is, he's a chef, I'm not gonna say the name, but you may know who I'm talking about in a moment, and he became famous just for his style of adding seasoning. Right? He's made somebody famous, these guys. So the way that you serve the alcohol can make you famous. We don't know. So my crew, with this instrument is the measuring instrument. The name of this instrument is the jigger. And the jigger is how we measure and how we pour the alcohol. You can have a normal stand and go like a normal person, but you're gonna see bartenders or or around the world, I don't know, but with this you can add flair, you can add style, sophistication. And remember, sometimes when we consume stuff, we consume them first with our eyes. Remember, you see food, you see drinks, and if they don't look appealing to your eye, sometimes you say, "Ah, bien, gracias." So all of it adds to the experience, all right? Well, my crew, I want you to know that the jiggers are always the same way. They have a long side, they have a short side. The long side always has double the amount of whatever the short side has. So if the short side is 1, the long side is 2. Usually that's the best, but sometimes they are 3/4, 1.5, half, and 1. All right. This is peña because 1 and 2 it has all the different measures that we need. If you look inside, you're gonna see all these different lines. All the different lines that the jigger has are different measures that we can use, and some of them we are going to use here. Then my crew, we got the bar spoon. With this, we're going to stir, we're going to swizzle, we're going to taste. In the future, when you do things home, you can model with a bar spoon like this. We got tongues. Remember that we don't want to contaminate what is not ours, so all the solids, you're going to pick up with the tongues. So we don't need to pick them up with the hands. Remember, in the bar, we greet people, we take money, so it's always best to hold away from the glass, even with gloves, sometimes So my crew, now, the last thing we have in front of us are gonna be these 3 parts of a shaker. This is the shaker, one of the cocktails we're gonna make. It's gonna be shaken up by you. A lot of your style has to be into it. Así que make sure that you have your shaker. The shaker that we have must contain the 3 pieces I'm holding up. We got the main piece, the shaker. We got the second main piece, the strainer or el colador. And then we got la tapita, or the small cap. And we never cap anymore here. But we got the small lid, so you don't make a mess when we are shaking it. So far, do we have everything? We're not missing anything? Bam, with my crew. All of these items, they are yours for the class. You don't need to share any of these with anyone unless you want to share some of your alcohol with the person that you love, alright? But everything that we have in the middle of your tables, we need to share with the person next to us. Question, everyone here knows the person next to you? If you know them, you know, got them up. If you don't know them, get to know them now. And if you love them, give them some love. Porque no, right? So, you know, this is each other, a little love right there. We're going to be making some cocktails. You're going to show them that yours is better than theirs, alright? So we're going to be showing off our craft. But mi gente, we're going to be sharing everything we have here. We're going to share the ice. Mi gente, I always say some words in Spanish because for me it's good that you know a little bit. For example, you should know baño. You already know baño? Baño, restrooms, yeah, comida, alright, munchies, comida, hospital, I got it easy because it's hospital, so that you just say the pronunciation, but that's it. Agua, we know agua, exactly, but my crew, no hielo, like the color. Hielo is how we say ice in Spanish, right? So you're gonna share the ice, van a compartir el hielo. We're gonna share the mixers. You see that we got 3 bottles that we're gonna be using as mixers. We got lime juice, jugo de lima o limón verde. You see that this one looks almost identical. That's why we separate them with the puder. The one with the puder, this is what we call simple syrup. You heard that word before, right? You know what's called simple? As simple as something can be in life. This is water, this is sugar, both in the same amounts. Put the water to boil and add the sugar, or blend them together. Alright? Now my crew, you can make your simple syrup less simple. I like adding ginger and lemongrass to mine, what we call limoncillo. Super nice, super good. I speak like this, so at the end of the day I cannot, and I have you at the end of the day, alright? Well, mi gente, and the last bottle that we have, this is club soda, water with soda, water with effervescence, that we're gonna add to the first cocktail we're gonna be making. Last but not least, we got mint. You should have mint, you're gonna share the mint. We got dehydrated limes, and we got a French liqueur of the name Saint Germain. This is made from a flower called the elderflower. From my Spanish-speaking crew, la flor de saúco. No saoco, saúco. Alright? Now my crew, anything that we're missing? Nothing? Achope, please give me a round of applause to my savings crew. Que duro. Gracias, Sergio. Now that we know we got everything to begin, we can officially begin. But I don't want to begin the class without acknowledging first everyone for being here. I'm super happy that all of you are here. First cocktail that we're gonna make, you know it. I'm sure that they know it. And I'm sure that a lot of you like it. But I might think that some of you don't know how this cocktail came to happen. Now my crew, the first cocktail we're gonna make, in the past it was used as medicine. Remember that from some time, people didn't use sickness. Everything was spirits. Good spirits, bad spirits. Good spirits we call here in the Caribbean angels, ángeles. But bad spirits, you know how we call them? Diablos, demonios. Alright? So my crew, imagine that you had a fever, normal fever, but you didn't know, Diablo, I got a diablo inside of me and I'm dying. So this was the thought of the time. Not a great thought, but a great solution. My people that didn't know sickness, they were killing these evil spirits with a concoction of sorts. This concoction was made famous by a British sailor, but remember, we didn't know know how to read or talk English in the time. So this sailor was called last name Drake, but we didn't know English, so it was called the Drake. All right, as we write it. All right. So the singer that we know as Drake, he will be called Drake in this time. All right. But the Drake had some of the things we're gonna use here. The Drake had lime juice. The Drake had mint because the lime juice has vitamins and nutrients, and the mint has oils that relaxes. I got a question for you. Anyone here, when you fly, do you stress a little bit? It's stressful. I know we are in a metal tube in the air, traveling at hundreds of miles per hour, and that moment where the plane stops touching the earth, we're like, whoo, whoo, we know that feeling that we get. But my crew, if you got oils of mint in your hands, you're not gonna be cheating, but you're gonna be more relaxed or less stressed in that moment. When you consume the mint, the oils relax your stomach. So it helps to that relaxation of an upset stomach. Now, one of the alcohols that we make for the rum, we call it aguardiente. It's not the same as what you can buy in Colombia or Mexico or Brazil, but our aguardiente is closer to moonshine for whiskey, right? It's their own aged version. So aguardiente, they were using for this drake. And since aguardiente is so strong, aguardiente here is 85% alcohol, they were using water basically not to die. Alright? And since all of these were so strong, they were using a sweetening element to make that drake taste at least decent. So my crew, all of these flavors that you see from the drake, you know them. From where do you know them? Acho, gracias. This drake is what is now called the mojito. And my crew, we're not gonna make a mojito. We're gonna make that mojito, because the first mojito ever was not made by us, but it was made with us. My crew, they say that it's not a mojito if it's not with Bacardi, and they are right, alright? Así que my crew, we're gonna be making a Bacardi mojito, but maybe today I'm gonna show you a way that you have not seen as much. I'm gonna show you a way that we can make straight up the mojito in the glass. And if you got celebrations going on, you can make a batch and just serve and drink and don't spend 6 minutes per mojito, alright? Así que my crew, the technique we're gonna use is called build up or building up a cocktail. We're gonna be building the cocktail straight up in the glass. So all the ingredients, we're gonna add them right here. You got 2 glasses, so take one of them, leave it on the side, we don't need it yet. So just have the one, and we're gonna start mixing that drake that we now call el mojito, that has been in the world from the Caribbean to the world. So my crew, we need the glass, we need the jigger. I'm gonna start with the first flavor. When we are making cocktails, unless we cannot do otherwise because of the recipe, we try to leave the rum or the alcohol for last or almost last. Why? It's the most expensive item. You maybe have to bounce. Things happen, you gotta go. I don't mind throwing away 9, but it hurts throwing away years of our lives, alright? You know, a second of silence. So my crew, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna begin by adding the lime juice. To get balanced flavors, we're gonna start by using 1/4 ounce of lime juice. That's gonna be the short side of our jigger, all the way up. In the glass, this is gonna be our acid base, our acid component. 1 ounce is the short side all the way up. So that's what we need to add in the glass. 1 ounce, una onza. That's el lado corto hasta arriba. The short side all the way up. That's 1 ounce. 1 ounce, completely, 1 ounce. 1 ounce is the equivalent of 30 milliliters. Right, just in case. I know we measure differently around the world. 1 ounce, my crew, and in the glass. Now, to make this balance, we're gonna do the same thing for the second ingredient, the simple syrup. We're gonna start with 1 ounce as well. This is what we call in the bar 1-to-1 proportion. Same amount, 1-to-1, right? As you can crew. Second step, same amount of lime, now of the simple syrup, 1 ounce. Remember, short side all the way up. Where does it go? On top of the lime juice. And this is what we have now. 2 ounces, 1 of lime, 1 of simple syrup. My crew, when you are in the bar, I always recommend everyone to check out what your bartender is doing, especially if it's in a place you don't know, in a city that is not remote, in a country that you don't know anyone. And let's say that I'm your bartender. So far, the dude is fine, it's cool, I haven't seen any red flag. And I'm, trying to be nice, we're having a decent time. But then, all of a sudden, I'm making your talk, I'm talking to you, see, man, claro, ¿verdad? You've been told someone? Yeah, of course. And then I do this. Ooh, that's fire, yeah. I lick and I put. That's a crime. That's a crime against all humanity. I should be arrested. I don't know if UNESCO arrest people. UNESCO should arrest me, alright? Mi gente, I cannot do this. Even if it's mine, I won't do this for me, alright? So my crew, let's picture that atrocity that I just did. Rewind. I never did it. If I'm gonna tell you something that is yours, remember what I told you earlier. The glass is yours. The cocktail is yours. Nothing here is mine. So my crew, I can use my bar spoon, but I will never lick it. I'm gonna steer. I'm gonna leave something in the spoon. I'm gonna back away from your cup, and in the back of my hand that I never use again for anything, without coming in contact, you see how much distance I can do. Ooh, that's perfect, that's fine, that's whatever we want to say. So my crew, take a moment, put a little bit on the back of your hand, taste it, and what are we gonna do? We're gonna decide if it's amazing, awesome, brutal, perfecto, or mine is a little sweet right now. So at least for me, I want a little bit more of lime juice. Please remember, this is the golden rule of the bar. In the bar, we can always add, but we can never take out. So we can always start little by little, and then we can fix, but we cannot take out what already added. This includes alcohol, this includes all of the flavors we are using. So my crew, taste it and find your balance. You should like what you're drinking. If it's too sweet, more lime juice. If it's too sour and you're making faces, we don't want it. Alright, how we doing? How's the balance coming up? It's good? Alright, perfecto. Now my crew, I got a question for you. Who here likes mojito with flavors? Passion fruit, strawberry. Alright, we're not gonna make them here. Alright? Or however, a fancy but is at this moment where the extra flavor can be added. My crew that likes passion fruit pulp right now. Strawberries are not that sweet, so you can add a little simple syrup more, or strawberry syrup. Some people want the color, dice them up, add them right now. Coconut, any flavor that you like, you can add it now. But since we're making the OG mojito, lime is the flavor that dominates, we're gonna leave it as it is. But now we're gonna use the mint. Remember that the mint we're gonna share with the person next to us. The recommended amount is anywhere from 3 to 5 mints per person. I love adding 4 in mine. I use 4 mints and that's perfecto. But today, remember we're making things a little differently. So let's not do that to the mint today. We're not gonna model it either because sometimes we release the chlorophyll that is bitter. We're just gonna add them in there, right? So I got the mint, bam, that's 1, then that's 2, that's 3, and that's 4, right? I didn't do anything else, just, oh yeah, that was good. Alright, what are we here today? Now, the mint is adding aroma, the mint is adding flavor, so now the mint is minting. Now, the next step that we're gonna be doing to get the oils flowing out of the mint, we're gonna use the rum, and the heat that the rum possesses is gonna make that flow, alright? As you can see, let's pick up that bottle, and you got 2 options. Option number 1, you can add all of the rum in your glass. Option 2, you get to decide how much you want to use. We serve you the recommended amount, 1.5 ounces. So you can, even find some way out of it. But if you want to do a more light approach, make sure 3/4, add 3/4, steer taste, and decide if you want to use the extra portion. Now my crew, let's take this moment and let's make this officially a cocktail by adding the Bacardi rum. And super important, once you add the rum, we are going to stir and then we are going to taste. Alright, así que vamos allá, we need rum, and once the rum is in, we are going to stir and we are going to taste one more time. Ahí apretó. Now the song is tighter. Alright, it's possible to stay still now. Alright, how we doing, my crew? How's that mojito coming along? It's coming up fine? It's coming up good? Alright, I'm liking the faces. I like the faces more when you're moving. Alright, bueno, mi gente. Let's do a quick check. We added the lime, check. We added the simple syrup, check. We impacted with the mint, check. And now we make it a cocktail by adding the rum, check. What comes next? Muy bien, I heard it a lot. El hielo, the ice. My crew, check this out. So this little come to a bar. Your name is Will? Yeah, Will. How can I help you? Will, yo quiero el mío. I want mine low on ice. Why do we do like that when you ask me for a cocktail low on ice? I already use the alcohol, so I'm not stressing about the alcohol. Maybe I imagine you want a little bit more of alcohol. I don't even mind. There's always sleight of hands we can do. I don't mind. But there's a situation, not a problem, a situation when you ask us for a cocktail low on ice. This is low ice. Right now, my cocktail has less liquid than yours because I'm working, so I'm not drinking. I'm only using the lime. But when we have a cocktail low on ice, the rum is hot. And the heat that the rum has is going to melt the ice really, really fast. Let me ask you a question. Have anyone here seen a UFC fight? You know that sport where they use the elbows to hit people in the face? They use the knees as well. That's what alcohol does to the ice. It's going to start elbowing the face, knee in the sides where we breathe, softening us down. All jokes aside, my crew, rum melts the ice really, really fast. And when you ask for a little amount of ice, mine is already melting. And I don't got rum in mine. So when you have low ice, your ice is going to melt down really fast. You're going to get a watered down cocktail. Watered down cocktails in Puerto Rico are called aguaos. And nobody likes an aguao cocktail. So my crew, we don't want to save alcohol. We want to make flavor last. So we cannot be stingy with ice. My crew, we need ice all the way up. So the flavor that we're willing to pay lasts as long as it can. Así que mi gente, let's go at ice. Don't be stingy, don't be maceta. Let's add ice as high as we can. Hielo, mi gente, hielo, super importante, super important. Now my crew, we got one more ingredient to go. Today is gonna be the club soda. But tomorrow, nadie sabe, it can be anything that you want. It can be ginger ale, it can be ginger beer, it can be prosecco, and you can level up your mojito, or mojito royale. Apple cider, soft sodas like lemon lime, anything that has in it, alright? Now my crew, we are keeping things OG today, so we're gonna be using the club soda that created the first mojito ever. Now my crew, the more water you add, the more dilution you're gonna get. I like my flavor, so I just add a little bit of it. You go as high or as low as you desire. So let's take a moment now, and let's add the club soda, the final touch. And my crew, once you have the club soda in with our bar spoon, the last step that we gotta do is mix all of these flavors together. We're gonna do that by doing this motion. You see the rotation I'm doing right now? You can do it with one hand, you can do it with two. This is known as a swizzle or swizzling. So dump the spoon all the way to the bottom, and let's blend everything together. Right? Let's be fast and concise so we don't water down too much the cocktail. If you got some extra mints, You can place them on the rim of your glass so you can make a little garnish effect. If they're gone, that's fine, you know. You don't need to stress. I just have it, so I can place it right there. And the crew, our cocktail is done, finito, listo, ready, terminado. Y ahora, mi gente, we're gonna celebrate the birthdays I got in the house, the no birthdays I have, and we're gonna raise our glass, and a la cuenta de tres, we're gonna say salud, alright? Así que, vamos a ver, mi gente. 1, 2, 3, salud, 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 salud. Enjoy your very own Bacardi Mojito. And remember, if it's not with Bacardi, it is not a mojito. How are you doing? How are those mojitos? You were good mojitos? That's because you made them, alright? When the music comes back, we're going to take a short break. 3 minutes. Sorry, 3 minutes. For you to enjoy that mojito. And then we're going to begin with the second cocktail of the glass. The next cocktail we're going to be making is inspired by the daiquiri cocktail. Who knows the daiquiri? When I say the word daiquiri in Spanish, who knows what I'm talking about? Ladies, birthday girls, do you know a daiquiri? Who knows a daiquiri here? Alright, but my crew, I'm gonna need you to translate the name of this cocktail because nobody knows what a daiquiri is. Who knows how? So alright, so you're gonna be my translator. My crew, the cocktail we're gonna be making is called the daiquiri. Thank you so much, man. We're gonna make a daiquiri, but it's not gonna be the daiquiri that we know. We're gonna do a Parisian style daiquiri because for this daiquiri we're gonna use a French liqueur that is the Saint Germain. This is gonna add consistency. This is gonna add sweetness and flavor. In the bar, I'm gonna say it to you. In the bar, we call this the ketchup of the bar because it fixes every cocktail that you make. It's good. It's aromatic. The consistency is gonna fix if the cocktail feels watered down. So my crew, we're gonna use this to make the daiquiri that we call Parisian daiquiri. But my crew, this cocktail is gonna be a shaken up cocktail. Así que I wanna see your shakers. Pick up your shakers and get the shakers in the air. Bien arriba, 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 arriba. Sobre. We're gonna add everything in the shaker. The extra glass is still on the side. We don't need it now. I make sure you have napkins so you can clean your jigger, alright? And my crew, we're gonna start making the Parisian daiquiri, but the daiquiri inspired by Jenny Stockton, but styled by a little French touch. So my crew, we're gonna start the same way we started with the mojito, with the lime juice first, but instead of using a complete ounce, now we're gonna use only half. Alright, so my crew, we got the jigger has lines on the inside, and the second line from the top down is the half of an ounce. So my crew, that's gonna be our starting point, half ounce of lime juice, and we're gonna add that into the shaker. Lime juice first, alright, lime juice first. Now my crew, when we are going to do this cocktail, we're gonna start by making the cocktail balanced. Now remember what I told you earlier, we can always add more. So, before we shake, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna taste how it's coming out. And for example, I like my cocktail a little bit more on the sour side. So this cocktail, I like it with a little bit more of lime juice. Maybe some of you share a similar profile, so if that happens, we can always add a little bit more of lime juice to get that tart effect that some of us like, alright? So my crew, we're gonna start first by adding half, and half. We already used half of the lime juice, now we're gonna use half of the simple syrup, same amount, so it's gonna be even, half an ounce. right there in the shaker, and then we're gonna add half an ounce of the Saint Germain liqueur, right? When we speak liqueur, usually we speak sugar, and when we speak sugar, know that the sugar takes the alcohol straight to our blood system. So when we drink with sugar, we tend to feel the effect faster and stronger, alright? So my crew, check this. Half an ounce of lime juice, half an ounce of simple syrup, and the third ingredient, half an ounce of the Saint Germain liqueur, which is the bottle you have in the middle, the one that has the light golden color liqueur, right? This is half an ounce, so you can measure it, or you can add it up, alright? And then my crew, once we add the half, we're gonna pick up our bar spoon, we're gonna taste now, and then we're gonna taste after we add the rum. I want you to taste both times. So we're gonna stir, we're gonna taste. Alright? And you start feeling the flavor that you're building. Now, we haven't added the rum. With the rum, it's gonna be different. So when we add the rum now, we are gonna do this once again. Now, crew, this is the rum we're gonna use. It's aged 4 to 7 years, but this is still light enough that it's gonna be great for cocktails. The intention of mixing rums is to have presence without overpowering or disappearing. This is what this rum does. It makes cocktails just a little bit better. So the next step before adding the ice is gonna be adding the rum, right? As you guys go, my crew, you already know how to. Let's add the rum. And before we do anything else, we are going to taste that cocktail, right? Así que, vamos allá, mi gente, let's enjoy that cocktail before and now after the rum. Y bueno, mi gente, we're almost ready. This cocktail is an easy one to make, so we're almost ready with it. I want to leave you some minutes at the end to enjoy, so that's why I'm also doing this relatively fast. Alright, how we doing, my crew? Come up here. Remember to add the rum as much as you want. We serve you the recommended amount, 1 ounce and a half. But it's up to you to decide if you want to use less or if you want to use all of it. At the end of the day, do what moves you. Alright, well, mi gente, how are we doing so far? We got the cocktail already tasted? Alright, how are we doing? We added the rum? The rum is in? Well, mi gente, this is the moment where I need your full attention. If you don't do a full attention, you might have an explosion, and when explosions happen, we cannot give you a second chance. So we don't want explosions to happen. And sometimes explosions are funny, and it's hard not to laugh up in here. Sometimes they explode in our faces, and we look like we're coming out of the water. It's very hard not to laugh. But my crew, what I want you to do is enjoy what you're doing. So please, let's be careful in this moment. We can overshake and explosion is going to happen. Now my crew, we're almost ready. We added all the ingredients we needed. The one thing we're missing is el hielo, the ice. So now let's get 1 scoop of ice in the shaker. We don't need no more. 1 scoop is more than enough. But please don't start shaking, alright? Don't start shaking yet. We need to close this the best way possible. Now, after you add the ice, we are going to place the strainer all the way down. That way, all the air that we have is being released right now. After the air is released, we place the lid. So now we don't have an air pump wanting to explode. Now the crew, super important, 2 hands on deck are recommended. We always recommend not doing the look mama with 1 hand because this can easily fly away. 1 hand for balance, 1 hand to hold it up, and this is the movement and the noise you should make. It's gonna be a wave-like motion. Alright? Well, that's what you're gonna be doing now. This is the song we're gonna be shaking to. We're gonna start shaking in place. And shake, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Shake it like you're really, really. now, my crew, we have just finished that amazing shaking, but now we got no drinking like this. Yes, Scotty Patsy. Alright, so close yet so far away. Wait a minute, we have just shaken this. We got one more thing to do today, and it's gonna be now. We're gonna pick up the empty glass that we have, the extra glass, and we're gonna start adding ice. So we make the glass less empty. We're gonna add new ice, and then my crew, Nicolillo. Now that our cocktail is shaken, ready to enjoy, we're gonna take off the lid. Your shaker should look like this, but my crew, we're so close. Please don't hold the shaker here because it can fall away. Try to hold the shaker from the top. And now we're going to be doing what is known as a clean pour, serving the shake cocktail in the new ice, leaving the used ice behind. I'm going to have less amount than you. Remember, I'm not using rum, so my cocktail is going to look differently. I'm going to have less amount than yours, and I'm barely shaking. But my crew, now that we got the cocktail ready, we can decorate the cocktail by adding the lime. The garnish that we have for it. Place the lime as beautiful as you want on the corner, on the middle. It always should be standing up. Wow, I'm running today. Our last cocktail of the class is finished. With this cocktail, we're going to graduate from Bacardi Mixology class. Así que mi gente, let's get these cocktails in the air. One more time, happy birthday to my people. Happy birthday to the rest. Thank you so much for being here. We hope you have enjoyed the class. And we say goodbye by saying 1, 2, 3, salud! Salud, salud, mi gente. Enjoy your cocktail. Enjoy the rest of your day. We're going to have a couple of minutes here, 3 to 5 minutes in the room, so you can enjoy the cocktail. But guys and ladies, don't worry, we're not done. Just like this thing, we make you drink, and then we take you shopping, because the tour's gonna end in the Bacardi gift store. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoy the tour, and enjoy your cocktail, and I hope to see you again in Casa Bacardi. Thank you so much, mi gente. I love you from me to you. Thank you that I don't let it go down. Y ahora, mi gente, esta cita que va a bailar.
Casa Bacardi offers a shuttle service for $8 per person that takes you to a ferry. So that's how we're gonna get home.
What do you want to say?
Sit one more back. Let me get the window. So we're about to board the ferry, and how you get here is, as you saw, we took the shuttle from Casa Bacardi, we came to the ferry port, and now we're about to board the ferry. Sit right here, fine. All right, I don't know how much video I could get of this ferry ride, but yeah, this is the ferry. This is the ferry. I don't know. I think this is all we got. So check back in after.